Hey, good morning. You're still here. That's a good sign. What a difference a day makes. Or a night. Yesterday, foggy, warm, a lot of snow melted. Look at this. We got about a half inch of snow overnight. And I don't know if you remember yesterday, right about over there, there's a town down below there. I don't know if you can see the twinkling lights yet. But yesterday, you couldn't see the town because the fog was about right here. So you could see the mountains in the background, but you couldn't see anything lower than that. Look at this. Completely the opposite. Okay. Well, I could not get up the hill yesterday. So what we're going to do, we are going to go to town and get some insulation. And then I'm going to, once I get back up here with the insulation, I am going to put chains on the truck and to see if I can get up there. I actually tried it yesterday with just the truck, four-wheel drive, of course. Got about as far as I did with the four-wheeler. There's a patch of snow where it gets a little low up on the rise up to the cabin, and it was just too much for the truck. Just too much snow. Once you start getting past the axles, especially this heavy, wet snow we had yesterday. Yeah, so it's supposed to snow here today, starting about 10 o'clock, and it's supposed to snow all day long until after midnight, the last report I saw. So we're going to go to town before it starts snowing, get some insulation, and get it up that hill one way or another. I don't know if you can see that right up there. There's a little cabin up on the hill right there. All right. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's get to town. Let's get to work. I should have plowed this road. Yeah, it's getting a little hairy. Hold on. No, hold on. Strap yourself in. We'll get there. Usually we see deer just about every day, and they are mule deer. Once in a while we'll get a stray whitetail that'll come over from the national forest, but most of the time it's mule deer. It's awesome seeing them. I see you bouncing up and down. Are you okay over there? Okay, just want to make sure you're strapped in safely. It's kind of a rough road. You know, I have this feeling, this gut feeling, that a lot of people watching this might have a similar dream, or maybe even a thought, an inclination of moving out of the city to a small town or to the country. My professional business is in real estate. I can tell you I have seen that. I have seen it start really about 4 or 5 years ago, where it started, and it has hit hot and heavy a couple of years ago, and I don't believe it's going to end in my lifetime. So many people in the cities, and so many people want to get out. Not everyone wants to do it. I have a friend, he is a city guy. There's just no doubt about it. He admits it. He thinks the idea of waking up to meadowlarks and bluebirds singing in the morning and looking out your window and seeing nothing but Mother Nature drives him crazy. you would rather be in a downtown condominium in Seattle. That's just the way it is. We're all wired a little differently, which is good, because if everyone wanted to do this, this would be harder to do, no doubt about it. So I'm grateful not everyone wants to do this. Leaves more room for those of us that do. So what do I need? I need about 450 square feet of insulation for the walls, 2x6, 16 inches on center. And then I need about 250 square feet for the ceiling, which is 2x10 on 24-inch centers. Okay, let's do it. Did you bring your wallet? Okay, I'll pay for it. That was really expensive. What are you gonna do? I mean, insulation is one of those things, you can't make your own insulation. Not really, you know? This old house that, oh, that's another story. The 120-acre property had an old house that we tore down last summer. And you'll get to see that too. In fact, we got to burn those piles up. But that house was about 120 years old, and that house had, for insulation, you're gonna like this, newspapers, we've probably heard of that, pine cones and pine needles, maybe you've heard of that. It also had horse poop inside the walls between the studs for insulation. Of course, it's 120 years old, it didn't smell, and it was dry as a bone. But what they didn't use for insulation, pretty amazing. It would have been a lot cheaper to buy some horse poop. If you are one of those that are thinking about moving from the city to the small town or to the country, there's one bit of information that is extremely important to know, and that is how to wave to the locals. Yeah, what we don't do when we see someone coming, especially if they're in a pickup truck, is go, no. Watch my hand very carefully. See that? That there is a perfectly fine, how you doing? If you don't want to take your finger off the steering wheel, option B is, did you see my head? I'll do it again. That's it. As long as you can say hi in those two ways, you're gonna do just fine in the country. The best thing about these tire chains, it comes with great instructions on plastic. Look at that. They thought about that one. All right, it's been like 3 years since I put tire chains on. I gotta relearn this thing. Is that right? Okay. All right. Hey. When I take the bags that the chains came in, I'm gonna kneel on it. Oh man, we're using our brain tonight. Today. Just when I thought I was using my brain. Whew, my hands are getting cold. Hey, you wanna hand me my gloves? All right, fine. I'll deal with it. Hey, that looks like it's getting there. Let's tighten this up. Is that it? Wow. I think that was it. One down, one to go. Okay, 2 of them on. Now you're supposed to drive back and forth about 15 feet. Pull up the slack, then you're good to go. Okay, the chains are on. I'm gonna go check them when I get to the end of the driveway, just to make sure they're still tight. And then keep your fingers crossed. Are they crossed? Okay, that tire's good. That one's good. We got about as far as we did yesterday. The snow is just, that doesn't look very deep there, but it's deceiving because it's riding on top right there. But it is just too deep, too wet, just too much snow. It's so heavy. So I am not stuck. I just can't get any farther up the hill. Plan B. Actually, it's not plan B. This is we already tried plan C. Plan B was just trying to get the truck up yesterday. Couldn't do it. Plan C was putting chains on the back of the truck and then trying to get up there. Still can't do it. Okay, so plan D, since I'm this far, just about 200 yards, 150 yards away from the upper cabin, since we're that far, what I think I'm gonna do is just hike back to the main cabin, get a sled, a little plastic toboggan sort of sled, and start hauling stuff up. What I don't want to do is unload my truck, which is filled with insulation. Luckily it's not that heavy. I don't want to unload my truck, pack it away in the barn somewhere, and then have mice get into it, and then have to repack it in my truck in a couple of months when the snow melts, and do this all over again. So I'm gonna do this, and I don't know if it's the hard way. I guess it's the hard way. I'm gonna get my exercise this afternoon, hiking stuff uphill. Yay! Karen, we need a snowmobile. What's all that noise? Well, snowshoes. I'm gonna get there as quick as possible, which is straight across the pasture. I don't have to worry about trails. I won't sink in. And I got the trusty sled in tow. So I'm gonna do this the hard way, which out here is completely awesome. Changed my garb. It's about 32.1 degrees, which means, and it's snowing, so by the time it hits your clothes, it's practically a drop of water. I got this old coat about 20 years ago, and I put it in my chore pile, and just hung on to it for these sort of days. And oh, you were asking about the hat. No, this isn't some stunt. Just because they call it Red Moose Ranch doesn't mean everybody has to be a cowboy. No, it's a great hat. It's a oiled cotton hat. Keeps the rain off. But now that I'm looking, I gotta keep the rain off my shoulders as much as I can, and it works great. And it's light. And since I'm going to be hauling stuff uphill on snowshoes in a foggy snowstorm, I figure I don't need to heat up anymore. So this is going to be perfect. Right there's our destination, right in the middle of the screen. So basically, I'm just going to go in more or less a straight line through the pastures, over the sage, on top of the snow, and we'll go from there. Let's get to work. I just had a couple thousand subscribers ask me, what's with the sunglasses if it's snowing and foggy? Well, I mentioned earlier, it's like we're in a cloud here. We're at 3,000 feet. And sometimes you get some brightness because you're on top of the clouds, maybe in the upper layer, enough to still produce snow and fog. But there's a weird brightness that comes through from above. That's why I'm wearing sunglasses. And it keeps the snow out of your eyes. Oh, if I haven't mentioned it yet today, thanks for watching Life on the Moose. I really appreciate it. Who is it? Well, I'll be. I just got a delivery. Insulation on a sled delivered right to my front porch. Yeehaw! I need a nail. That is wet. Let's go get another load. don't think I need that anymore. I think I bought too much. All right. Woo! One more. That's okay. I got it. Don't get up. Holy cow, do I have a lot of stuff. Last couple wasn't so bad. They weren't so bad. I was able to pull them up the hill in my boots because there was a good enough track. And now we are done with that tomfoolery. Okay. One more just for good measure. Woo! Well, what do you want to do next? Let's build a fire. The Big Buddy way. Take a look at that. New Mr. Heater Big Buddy. 2 burners. This one you can run on a hose connect to a regular propane tank, like a bigger propane tank. There it is. And if you see that little nozzle right there, you can do a quick connect there, or you can hook up a bottle on each side, which is probably what I'm going to do. I don't plan on having a permanent heat source in here. Let's see if we can get this thing going. So these Big Buddies are rated for interior use. So I'm going to take that with a grain of salt, and I am going to keep a window cracked I would say all the time this thing's on. At least for any length of time. Okay. You see that? Little valve. All right. I probably won't be using both burners. It's really not too bad in here, especially when I'm heated up from the wonderful trip up here. All right. Miss. Look at that. It works. Okay, just to be safe, I'm going to shut it off, and I'm going to move it off of this. That is equipped with a tip-over safety shut-off, and I figured, well, if I move it, I'm not sure how sensitive it is, so I figured I would just shut it off. Now I'm going to move it somewhere safe. Okay, let's move it right over here. I'm just gonna heat up this a little bit. Right in there, can you see that? Okay. Here we go, let's do it again. Pilot light, look at that, lit right up the first time. Let's put that up. Hey, it's going. Monitoring. Everything looks good. It's heating up. The fireplace is going. Okay, well, we're about 2 hours away from dark. It is snowing pretty good. I still have to go get that truck out there, get it down the hill. I don't even know if you can see it from here. Yeah, be okay, there it is. So I gotta do that. Tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, we'll get to work. I know, we've said that before. So I just gotta drill some holes. I think I was mistaken. I think I told you I was gonna put the battery box over there eventually, but it's gotta be over there. I don't know what I was thinking. That is south. Solar panels are gonna go out there somewhere. Battery over there. Okay, so from there I'm gonna run some wire. Oh, that's a pretty thick one. Hopefully my bit's long enough. Just gonna run a wire over here, maybe to a simple switch for a lamp, wall lamp. I'm not gonna do anything overhead. So as soon as I get that wiring in and maybe run another one over to there, I'm not gonna be, like I said, this is not on grid. Most likely this will be a low voltage lighting. So we'll get that tomorrow. We'll have some fun doing that. I think I can get all the wiring in tomorrow. It's not gonna be much, like I said, but hey, if we get started on the insulation, we'll get started on the insulation. But you know what? I'm gonna take 5 minutes for myself. And I'm gonna sit in that chair in front of that little heater and look out that window at that view. This is what it's all about. Well, it was a struggle indeed, but all the material we need for now is finally at the ridge cabin. Be sure to tune in next week as we get started on the wiring for basic solar and continue to work on the ranch. If you like this video, please like below and subscribe for content that just keeps getting better. Until next time, this is Life on the Moose.